What's up, guys? Carl here, No Bull Training. So I'm looking through my anatomy book, my MPTI anatomy book. Phenomenal school. There's a cheap plug for you. Best school around. That's where I went to actually, learn what I know now. I had some phenomenal mentors. Barry Fritz. If you don't know that guy, you look him up. Among many others. But however, I go through my book every once in a while. Every couple months, I sit down and I kind of just, refresh my brain on things. And, it truly brings me back to why I actually fell in love with becoming a trainer in the first place. As some of you know, I was heavy myself. I was very heavy after a failed baseball career. Got depressed, got very heavy, very deconditioned. I always lifted weights, but I was out of shape, real bad. I was eating whatever I wanted. I wasn't, just a poor lifestyle choices. Lots of alcohol, poor sleep, whatever. Sedentary, watched a lot of TV, stuff like that. So when I went to school, I got my book, started reading it, and it really sparked an interest in it. It helped me lose weight and get some muscle mass on me, even though I don't look like I lift. So my friends tell me. But you can get strong, and that's what a lot of females are afraid of. They think, I'm gonna bulk. There's a rare female out there that can do it, but it's rare, so you don't have to worry about that. But the book, especially the anatomy part, some people look at a clock and want to see the inner working. Some people look at a piano and think like, how's that work? I looked at the body and thought, how does this work exactly? How do you put on muscle mass? How do you burn fat? How do you really do it? And why do you do it? So this book has all the answers. But refreshing my brain today, we were looking at, so you lift weights. People always ask me, well, why should I lift weights? And it's a good question. I mean, you don't just take people's words for it. Doctors say lift weights. Why? Why? That's what I want to know. I always want to know why. If you have a good response, a good answer, and if I find some good information on it, it's probably a good idea. If not, especially in today's day and age with the internet, more BS stories and things are shared on social media than things that are actually real. So think about that. They've done studies on it where more crap information is shared than positive and good information that's true. That's a scary thing. So this kind of stuff, science doesn't lie. So whether you believe it or not, it's true. So as I'm going through my anatomy book, it sparked some more interest in, explaining to the clients, hence why I'm doing this video, of why you should lift weights. So number one is bone density. If I had to pick one thing, it'll give you more confidence. It'll burn body fat, assuming you're eating pretty well. It'll make you stronger. It'll make you leaner. But it increases bone density, number one. So your bones, think of osteoporosis. Men, but especially women, your bones get brittle and frail. And, if you hit the deck, you slip on some ice and you fall, you break your hip. That's terrible for anyone at any age. But if you're older, the older you are, that could be a life sentence right there. If you're 80, 90 years old and you have a fractured hip, it's over pretty much. So lifting weights can help at least prevent that. It doesn't mean you'll never get it. God forbid you get in a bad car accident, who knows? But it'll help prevent it, and the strength will follow. So everyday life is easier. I make a joke all the time. People are like, oh, my kids are so much. I don't know what that's like, because the way I train, I tire my kids out. They don't tire me out. And it's going to be like that for a long time. I don't see that coming to a halt anytime soon. And it's because I discipline myself and I try to train, 3, 4, 5 days a week. Rest days are vital too. So bone density, muscle mass, and I'm not talking Arnold Schwarzenegger muscle mass. It's not, unless that's specifically what you're doing, you're taking steroids and/or you're just really strict and you're spot training, doing chest day, back day, leg day, 2-3 days a week. That's not going to happen, especially if you're a female. You just lack the testosterone. So don't worry about that. But you get stronger. Everyday life becomes easier. I see it all the time. People will go to the gym, they'll lift 5, 10-pound dumbbells, but then you go home and you lift a 40-pound trash can and take it out and drag it outside. Or you lift a laundry basket up and over and run it up the steps. I mean, lifting weights, get ready, it should prepare you for real life. So don't be afraid to get stronger. Bone density, lean body mass. Tendons and muscles get stronger, which we're going to talk about in a minute, why that's important. And fat loss, there's an enzyme called lipase. It releases your hormones when you lift weights, release an enzyme called lipase that helps break down body fat. These are all great things. So everyone should lift weights. I don't care who you are. You should be lifting weights properly, safely. Muscle spindle fibers and Golgi tendon organ. Nice little reminder in my book. Muscle spindle fibers, just because I'm sitting here in my office, think muscle spindle fibers in the muscle. They detect rapid lengthening. So if a muscle is under tension eccentrically and it starts to lengthen, the muscle spindle fibers feel that length, that rapid length, and it reports back to your central nervous system, and it says, hey, we need more activation here. We need our muscles to fire to finish this lift. And that's a great thing. Then there's something called Golgi tendon organ. Muscle spindle fibers, Golgi tendon organ in the tendon. It's in the insertions and origins of the muscle. So say we're still talking about the bicep. Say that muscle, that bicep curl, and the muscle spindle fibers detect that rapid lengthening. If there's a lot of tension, the Golgi tendon organs start to get stimulated, and they think, uh-oh, this might be a bad idea. My bicep's going to pop, so I'm going to inhibit and boom, shut down. It's going to inhibit muscle contraction. That's a safety mechanism. That is a beautiful thing. Now, whether you believe it's designed or through evolution, either way, that's an incredible thing that the body does. It keeps you safe. Proprioceptors keep you safe, and or they let you finish the lift, or say, "Hey, bail, you're gonna get hurt." That's phenomenal. Just knowing that you're gonna go to the gym tomorrow or tonight at class, and you're gonna think, "Hey, I have a little more understanding of what muscles and ligaments and bones do." And a quick side note: ligaments and tendons. Assuming you're not a doctor or a nurse, most people don't know the difference. And do you need to know the difference? No, but it may help your training career, may prolong your training career. Muscles are connected by ligaments and tendons. So you think a tendon connects the muscle to your bone. That's what tendons do. Ligaments connect bone to bone. Real simple. There's going to be a quiz on that later, all right? So remember that. So even that little bit of information, it gives you more knowledge, and it may stimulate, like, okay, I'm going to work this, and I'm going to think about this. And another side note is muscles, we talk about pushing and pulling, and a bench press or a push-up is a push, and then a row is a pull, or a curl is a pull. However, muscles, actin and myosin filaments, they're protein filaments. They kind of overlap. That's basically what your muscles do. When I contract, I can never push. A muscle can never push, meaning even in a bench press, my pec major, yes, I'm pressing, but what the muscles are actually doing and how my arm is creating horizontal adduction is because the ratchet effect. My muscles are pulling on each other, and that's how I'm getting that shortening or that concentric phase. The best analogy I ever heard, I can't think of the guy I stole it from somebody. Imagine two pieces of Velcro. Really strong people have a lot of overlap. So when they lift, that shortening effect is very powerful, very strong. Weaker people have less overlap. You can improve that, though, by lifting weights. So imagine a rookie might have this, and a 135 deadlift, it might get them. They don't have that overlap strength, that power. As they get better, they get more overlap. As they get better, more overlap. As they lift longer in the years. So experience and training age will help that. Velcro, lots of overlap. Actin and myosin filaments shorten when you're lifting weights, and eccentrically lengthen when you're lengthening the muscle and shortening the muscle. So muscles cannot push, they only can pull. That's another gem right there. So this is just a little bit of knowledge that I think everyone should know. So I'm not saying you have to go buy this book and study it, although you should. But if you don't, at least you have a little more knowledge of what's going on and why you're doing it in the gym. So hope you enjoyed it.